Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson, wishing you a safe, healthy, and joyous holiday season. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on Prime Time with the new CDC quarantine recommendations, what does this mean for Guam? Daniel Perez has the story. Plus, public health is currently out of adult Pfizer vaccines. And the Animal Wellness Action Group holds a media conference this morning.
Hafa and good evening, everyone. I'm Tyler Matanani. Thanks so much for joining us. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommend that the quarantine and isolation period be shorter for those who catch COVID-19. Will Guam follow this advice? Daniel Perez has more.
So the CDC did make recommendations for quarantine and isolation period, but those recommendations were for healthcare workers. So this is for the healthcare industry. And they also noted that this is for individuals who have received their full vaccination or have been fully vaccinated, as well as their booster shot.
Public Health PIO Janela Carrera clarifying just who the new quarantine and isolation period covers under the new recommendation released by the CDC yesterday. Carrera spoke on why the change was made and if Guam will follow suit.
The reason for this is because they do recognize that there may be a shortage in the healthcare industry or for those that work in the healthcare industry. So if you're fully vaccinated and have received your booster shot and you have tested positive or have been exposed to someone who tested positive, then there is a shortened period for isolation or for, that's right, for isolation and for quarantine.
Carrera further added that the island's isolation and quarantine policy remain the same until any changes are officially announced. As for the recent uptick of residents getting tested for COVID,
some of our folks decided that after the Christmas holiday to come in and get tested. And so we did see kind of an increase in people coming in to get tested, which is a good thing. We do encourage that, especially when people are feeling symptomatic, to come in and get tested.
The Tizan testing site is open Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for those that want to get tested. Daniel Perez reporting for Guam's News Network.
For those wanting to get the Pfizer vaccine, it could take a while. The EOG vaccination clinic ran out of the Pfizer vaccine just yesterday, and Public Health PIO Janela Carrera gave KUAM an update if more are on the way.
We have been continually releasing orders for not just Pfizer, of course, it's all the vaccine makes. So what it is there is a nationwide like blackout shipment. So it's not just Guam that's facing this. So between December 23rd to December 27th, there was nationwide, there were no shipments going out because of the holidays. This will occur again between December 30th to January 3rd. And so there are some shipping delays because of that. And so right now, there are no Pfizer vaccines, the adult vaccines available.
Carrera added that Public Health hopes to get another shipment in this week and assures residents that they are tracking the shipment. But there are no guarantees due to shipment delays. When asked if any Pfizer vaccines are left on island.
For public health, we currently don't have any, but for the community health centers, they are low on stock. So I don't have the exact number of how many the community health centers has, but currently they are the only ones that have.
For those wanting the Pfizer shot, Carrera said the private clinics may have since they are able to order their own stock. Public Health still has the Pfizer pediatric, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines. In the fight against COVID, genome sequencing has been a major player to detect new and potentially dangerous variants. Public Health PIO Janela Carrera told KUAM that the island can expect its own genome sequencing machine very soon.
A genome sequencing machine, that is a $25,000 machine that we did place an order for. So we are anticipating its arrival sometime in January. It does still need to take some time for it to be calibrated, and then of course our staff also need to be trained, and then we also need to retrofit our lab to make space for it and make sure that it can be placed at a location within our laboratory.
Carrera stated that the genome sequencing machine Public Health ordered is a smaller version of the one the CDC recommended. The machine will be up and running sometime in February. At this time, Public Health continues to send samples to the CDC and the Hawaii State Laboratory for genome sequencing. In regional news, passionate discussions with parents in the CNMI on the return to school amid Saipan's first surge in a recent town hall with the World Health Organization. Tomas Manglotnia reports.
I do have a daughter with a pre-existing health condition, and I worry about her. And if certain communities are not vaccinating, certain families are not vaccinating, I'm just sorry, I'm getting a little emotional because I worry about my daughter, and she doesn't have the choice. She's 2.
A sign of the times, parents probing a leading medical epidemiologist on Saipan working with the World Health Organization in the NMI's first surge. 10,000 students on Rhoda, Tinian, and Saipan return to campus next Monday.
It's important for your child to get an education. And this is why I always have one of the key protection measures is masking within the classrooms and social distancing. And that does it. And I have seen it do it in multiple studies.
Dr. Khan is confident that with increased vaccinations, a return to campus is safe.
So we know schools are not main drivers of community transmission in CMI. And there's been a nice study now of over 191 countries where they've looked at opening schools and what that means for community transmission. And school opening is not associated with community transmission.
He says vaccination of students should not be a prerequisite for schools to reopen. Most schools in the NMI are above 70% vaccination.
A new measure that's also available on CDC guidelines is to test kids in school, including the ability to use testing so that kids don't need to quarantine. So again, there's lots of layers of protection for kids to go back to school in person and do it very safely.
It's a reassuring message that's a far cry from the episodic closures that plagued the past year. Tomas Manglotnia for KUAM News.
It won't just be a special group of GovGuam employees receiving recognition for their pandemic performance. As Governor Lulian Guerrero tells The Link, she plans to give commemorative COVID-19 pins given to GovGuam workers to private sector workers who kept clocking in during the COVID crisis.
We have a program and a system set up, and we're going to try and recognize everyone that has worked really hard during this pandemic.
Some GovGuam employees have received the pins, and the governor didn't provide any other details on the system set up and who will be given pins and in what order. A letter given to pin recipients reads that those who have gotten the medals are a special group of public servants, including frontliners, medical professionals, military service members, and other government employees who are identified as having continued to work either in person or teleworking when island-wide stay-at-home mandates were effective. The letters are signed by the governor and lieutenant governor. Frontline essential workers are also eligible for premium pay according to the American Rescue Plan guidance. But the administration has not said it plans to give premium pay to private sector workers who continue to work during the pandemic. Animal Wellness Action calling on the governor to do something about the publicized cockfights coming up on New Year's weekend at the Dedido Cockpit. Wayne Pacell of AWA obtained a schedule of cockfights for the month of January, while the governor signed into law a local law that contradicts the federal cockfighting ban, Pacelle said the governor is abetting illegal activity by turning a blind eye to bird fighting. Pacelle pointed to what he said are illegal shipments of fighting roosters to Guam, signed off on by the Department of Agriculture as further proof the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is thumbing its nose at the federal law banning cockfighting in the states and territories. In a press conference today, Pacelle also addressed what he said are massive amounts of cockfighting cash going unregulated and untaxed on island. Rev and Tax Deputy Director Marie Lizama said since rooster fighting is illegal on a federal level, DRT has no role in regulating monies collected from it. Once again, we invite you to voice your view across our social media pages with our daily question. Today we ask, what do you think were some of the most significant events in island politics of 2021? We'll share responses on the link tomorrow morning. And before we head into the break, KUAM and Coast 360 throughout the month of December share Making Spirits Bright. We want to see videos and pics of your Christmas trees, decorations, and holiday photos. Make sure to use the hashtag Making Spirits Bright Guam on Facebook or Instagram. Check out these images from Mike Santos.
The all-new Hyundai Tucson.
Don't need to work, babe, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Hafaday, this is Congressman Nicholas. If you are a small business, you may be interested in a federal program called the State Small Business Credit Initiative. This program can provide federal funds to match equity investments into your company or help you get lower interest rates at local banks. To find out more on how this program can help your small business, please contact your Guam Congressional Office at 475-6453 or at michael.snicholas@mail.house.gov.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the Office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
I know, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Thanks, Taco Bell!
Let us know what's up on our KUAM News WhatsApp tip line at 671-727-0094. Share information about what's happening in your town, on Guam or the CNMI, and what you want us to know. Reach us on WhatsApp at 671-727-0094.
Welcome back. A man with outstanding warrants in Hawaii and locally was arrested on December 27th. Federico Santos Manglotnian Jr. Volvo was pulled over by GPD officers for a defective brake light. Approaching the vehicle, the strong smell of marijuana was imminent. According to court documents, Manglotnia had no operator's license. Officers spotted a clear blue-lined plastic straw containing a white powdery substance protruding from a black bag. A subsequent search revealed 4 small Ziploc baggies, all containing a crystal-like substance suspected to be meth. In the center console, an officer found a clear glass pipe with a frosted bulbous end. The suspected substances tested presumptive positive for meth. Officers also retrieved $3,300 in cash and approximately 30 empty resealable plastic baggies. Manglotnia was charged with possession with with intent to deliver a Schedule II controlled substance, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and operating a motor vehicle with no driver's license. He was booked and confined. There were 39 Guam Department of Education employees who completed an Employment Opportunity Officers Training course at the TZN headquarters on Tuesday. According to GDOE Interim Public Information Officer Michelle Franquez, the Department of Administration hosted a 2-day certification course for EEO counselors, which ensures employees' rights are in place and not being violated while at the office.
GDOE, Public Health, as well as the Guam Memorial Hospital, they have been recommended by their supervisors to attend this training, which will certify them to be certified EEO counselors. And these are the EEO officers who can sit in on meetings with an individual who would rather have an EEO officer present. And so this training covers a wide span of just certification to become an EEO officer.
Franquez shared with KUAM News over the phone what this means for GDOE.
Retiring, coming and going, we do want EEO officers and EEO counselors out there at our schools just to help and support our GDOE employees. It's just that with people who have not come back because of COVID, we are lacking some of our EEO officers.
There were 49 participants total in the 2-day training course, of which 39 were GDOE employees. There hasn't been any major movements in terms of the Mayor's Council of Guam receiving federal dollars from the American Rescue Plan. PD Mayor and MCOG President Jesse Alec shares with KUAM's The Link on Monday that nothing's changed regarding village leaders getting ARP money.
Well, I mean, it's still the same. I mean, it's status quo because we haven't received the money. Status quo because we continue to talk about it. And that's kind of where we're at. I can't, like I said, I don't want to say what is actually being given to us and what's not going to be given to us, because I would rather receive the money and say, hey, Guam, we got it.
As KUAM News reported, Congressman Michael Nicholas stated that village mayors should be getting over $15 million in ARP money. In a news conference earlier this month, Nicholas said the Treasury Department confirmed that under the ARP law, there is separate funding for states and for local government subunits or non-entitlement units such as countries. In Guam's case, it would be the villages with funding going directly to the mayors. However, in a statement sent early December by the governor, every state and territory is different. Guam and some other places do not have countries. Our villages are not the same as countries. To pretend otherwise is disingenuous. Our villages also do not meet the definition of non-entitlement units. We're only a couple of days away from the new year, and you can ring in 2022 by catching the fireworks show at Hagåtña Bay. According to the governor's office, the 10-minute display will launch at midnight on January 1st and will be visible from just about anywhere in the Hagåtña area. In a news release, the governor said this time a year ago, social gatherings were limited to 5 people, and for the first time, the pandemic forced us to cancel our annual fireworks show. The return of this tradition is a celebration of our people's progress. The fireworks are sponsored by organizations from both the government and private sector. KUAM is one of those sponsors. He's cycling 150 miles to raise funds for the Make-A-Wish Guam and CNMI. Jonah Goncharfris has more on the charity ride and how you can help.
On December 31st, starting bright and early at 5:30 a.m. in the parking lot of the Agana Shopping Center, professional cyclist Edward Onorang will start his trek of 150 miles. It's all to help raise funds for the Guam chapter of Make-A-Wish.
I thought, what better way, to enter the new year, right, with a nice endurance ride the day beforehand to challenge myself. And if I'm going to challenge myself in this way, to have the community, possibly like other cyclists in the community come along and also challenge themselves. And they may not ride the whole 150 miles, but, like whatever your personal record is for distance, might be a good day to try and break that with me. Right now, I got interest in over maybe 20 cyclists that want to at least start the ride with me.
The 30-year-old Talafofo resident explains how the idea came to be.
I'm in the military. When I joined, the one thing I want to do is come back to Guam and have the opportunity to give back to the island. Coordinated a bunch of community services with schools such as Southern High School and Marito Elementary, and wanted to try something new and use cycling as a tool. And I thought, what better way than creating a charity ride, especially for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, in which a lot of the committee of the Make-A-Wish Foundation are cyclists.
Honoring, who is a member of Eurocycling Trips CMI, teamed up with Chief Petty Officer Association of the Marianas. This nonprofit consists of active duty members who are chief petty officers in the military and volunteer for services and projects while they're off duty. The association will be assisting Honoring with collecting donations.
Just from hearing from the team at CPOA, we already have donations rolling through, and like that right there is incredible. Even if $1 was donated, like it will be worth the ride. So, but the more we can, of course, donate together, then the more wishes that can possibly be granted for throughout 2022.
He says the ride would not have been possible without his sponsors: Cars Plus, Bike Fix Guam, Bridge Fitness, Volt Sportswear, and Eurocycling Trips.
There's a lot of people that give back to the foundation, and what they do is real. They make a lot of people's dreams come true, and I just think it was a good charity to donate to.
You can donate via PayPal to cpoamarianas@gmail.com. In the memo, please use keywords like bike or Make-A-Wish. And remember, 100% of the funds raised will go directly to Make-A-Wish Guam and CNMI. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonagan Charfris.
Stay with us. Coming up next on KUAM News, Sports with Dave Delgado. And still to come, your Cold Stone Creamery birthday shout-outs. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Half a day. This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. If you're struggling to pay rent and utilities because of the pandemic, your government can help. Our Emergency Rental Assistance Program provides direct relief to you. To date, over $6.9 million has helped over 1,500 households.
Apply online at eoa.guam.gov or call the Department of Administration's Emergency Rental Assistance Program at 671-638-4518 or 19.
From now until December 31, enter to win the 1 million Pacific Points giveaway. Simply activate your account, refer friends, earn and redeem points at Foodies, Shell, and IT&E. Learn more about the 1 million Pacific Points giveaway at PacificPoints.com. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Mobile Smiles just got bigger and better. Get more Smiles points for every gallon of fuel you purchase. Or get more miles with United Mileage Plus. Register your Smiles card online to start redeeming rewards today at guam.mobilesmiles.com.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Notre Dame and JFK put on a good show in the McDonald's High School Basketball Classic last night at the Jungle. The Royals led 12-9 in the second quarter after hitting a couple of threes. Hannah Gogwe buries the deep ball for JFK. Faith Piper with the assist from Abigail Paulino. Islanders trailed 16-13. Gogwe with another three-pointer from up top. Hannah was balling out. Gogwe hit 3 shots from behind the arc in the quarter. Royals kept the game close down the stretch. Jada Hahn dribbles right and gives it up to Gogwe, who had the hot hand. Running jumper drops in for another 2 points. Hannah finished the game with a team-high 22. Good ball movement by the Royals to get it inside to Paulino, who finished the game with 6 points. Jada dribbling out of the corner finds Gogwe again for another 3-point shot. Islanders pick up the win 47-44. Hahn chipped in with 17 points. Pull-up shot here drops in for 2. KUAM Sports, Clutch Guam, ITNE, and Pacific Points come together to host a youth football clinic on January 9th at DGW Field.
Everybody good? If you dart right.
I'm a true believer that youth is where the inspiration starts, right? The drive, the motivation. Once they play flag or even just going through a clinic, sometimes that's the bug that bites, and they become motivated and driven to kind of pursue that avenue of sports.
I'm really excited. I haven't been playing football in 2-3 years. It's just a good experience to come back and play the game we love.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Building on the past, we at Docomo Pacific Business believe in helping businesses move forward and together, changing the way we get things done to make you and your company reach your highest potential. Trust in our commitment to bring you the best solutions for all your business goals. We are Docomo Pacific Business. Let's work better together.
Basically, my life was a revolving door of just getting drugs, using drugs. My name is Anne-Marie Sablan. I'm 26 years old and I'm a student at Guam Community College, about to graduate with my associate's degree in human services. Got my high school diploma with GCC's Adult High program. The staff there is very helpful. They're very friendly, and it became like a family dynamic. It's possible for anybody, especially people like me who struggle with addiction.
The holidays are here, and you know what that means. Time to gather with family and friends, dress up our homes, and explore the Christmas season in paradise. Why not share these moments for a chance to win $100 in cash? Log on to visitguam.com/Instaguam today to participate in the Guam Visitors Bureau's #InstaGuam photo and video contest. A winner will be chosen every week, so share your best holiday moments now and win. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
Welcome back. The COVID-19 pandemic caused panic and illness throughout the world, but we were also fighting another pandemic long before, and fitness centers were like the vaccine. Here's this week's Inside Business. When the mandates came down, fitness centers were the first to close and the last to open. But now, Paradise Fitness is back and ready to help the community get on track to a healthier lifestyle.
We were already in a pandemic, a global pandemic before COVID, and it was globesity, obesity, diabetes, a chronic disease, non-communicable diseases. That in itself, we've been battling that since we've opened, and I think that's the foundation of why Paradise Fitness even started.
Paradise Fitness General Manager Michael Scrow backtracks life before the pandemic and how 2 years later it's become apparent that now more than ever people realize that exercise is essential.
I mean, people use this as an outlet. It's a therapeutic release, right? It's a part of their daily lifestyle and routine, and people rely on our services. And to have to close our doors for something that at that time was uncontrollable. It hurt.
With 4.5 months of closure, he says they felt the community's need for them more than ever. They shifted their landscape and started online services. They did Facebook and Instagram live classes along with weekly motivations. They sent newsletters with tips and anything they could do to reach out to their member base. They even froze memberships and gave extensions.
We have these 3 state-of-the-art world-class facilities and no one inside of it, you know, so lights were off. It was really weird to see. It was a weird feeling, but we knew that eventually we were going to open up.
And when they finally did, it was a new environment, a whole different feeling. The Fellowship of the Fitness industry had evolved, and they had to come up with a system that was realistic for their business model.
It was never a clear definition of what the real guideline was. Right, so we just had to take that approach on and say, you know, well, this is our Paradise Fitness safety guidelines, and this is what we decided. And you know, just slowly they were embracing it, and we're just happy that finally people can come in and work out.
Of course, there have been some changes. Scro says that their main focus was to deliver service to the island in the safest way possible while following DPHSS guidelines. Capacity and mask wearing was one, and clients must be vaccinated, which he says that in itself was a whole different battle.
Sometimes they can't even bring in their membership card, you know? So to bring in a vaccination card, what we did is we made it seamless and they could email it to us. That way we put it on file, so that way they don't have to keep showing it to us every time. The etiquette in the industry is always wipe down equipment before and after each use, right? But now it was like sanitation to another level, right? We actually close midday. Every day we close from 1:30 to 3 just to sanitize and fog the whole facility. So we had to get EPA standard solutions to make sure we clean the whole facility, you know, during the midday, so right after the first rush. And then classes, we had to, of course, 6 feet apart, capacity of how many people could be in the room.
As the new year rolls in, they're preparing for their open house where the community is invited to experience Paradise for the first week of the year. They'll also be launching their Paradise clothing line coupled with Paradise performance classes. So if you have a goal and a plan, they're ready to support. For Inside Business, I'm Tyler Matinani. And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Hey, Mac Bloss. In fact, hey, Mac Bloss, happy birthday to you on this December 29th because you have the solo spot on today's Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, and you are getting happy birthday love from your siblings Dylan, Kayla, Kiki, and Darlin. And you know what? For that matter, all of us on Guam, all your neighbors, all your family members, all your classmates, all your church members, all your friends, we're all celebrating you because it is your birthday today. And Mac, we hope you have a fantastic day. Be safe, have good fortune, and have a great, great birthday.
That's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks so much for watching. Good night and be safe, Guam.
In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E.
Half a day, everyone. It's Nestor Lecanto again, once again, with another edition of In Full Zoom. And this week, our topic is a serious one. It's eliminating violence and harassment in the world of work. And joining us for this segment